So we got one going, but he skirted us around in this field, and we're just gonna keep working him. He didn't gobble on the roost, but he's gobbling every once in a while, cutting me off every once in a while. I think he's out in this field with a hen we heard, or a couple of hens we heard earlier. So we just relocated, and we're gonna try and keep working them. took off running.
You're kidding me.
No, and usually when a turkey gobbles, they don't see a thing, but that turkey's smart enough to know.
How far was he when he?
I'd say he was 60 yards from me. I mean, I could have taken a poke at him, but I wanted to get closer.
Oh yeah.
Pretty turkey.
Wow.
Great hunt, though. Fun hunt.
We've heard a bird gobble over the hill. I don't know, 200-300 yards. So we're gonna go up here and try to get set up, see if we can't pinpoint him and get on and get him killed. I'd say let's go up here.
You think he's up here? Close.
It's a good high point here.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do, as Josh just said. They're not gobbling this morning. They didn't gobble early. But we've been hearing this one that we're maneuvered the boat around to this point, and this turkey's not far from us. We don't know exactly where he's at. I don't want to check him, though, until we get up a little bit higher. Maybe about halfway up this hill, then I'll run a call real soft, you know. But he's the only game in town right now, so we're going to go try and get after him. get him?
I got him. I got him, but
He ain't going nowhere either.
no, he's Longbeard. That's a good bird.
Thank you, Josh.
Huh?
It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and persistence pays off. These turkeys are just not gobbling that good. It's late in the season.
Last week of season.
Last week of the season. I'm here with Josh Moore with Wing Addiction Podcast. He invited me down when we did part 1 of the podcast. We're going to finish part 2 tonight, and we're going to go over some turkey calling tactics with the modified cutter.
That's right.
They eat it up. They love it.
That turkey ain't eating nothing else.
He ain't getting any older either. Let's go look at him.
Let's go look at the bird.
I didn't know if you'd have them. If you had them as thick as this is
Oh
right
yeah,
here.
I was on him. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I had to just skirt the side of a tree to kill him.
Yep.
And that's as far as he was going to come, I think.
Oh yeah, he was about what, 15 yards.
Look at this turkey. Look at this. I'm telling you, what a pretty bird. Let me make sure my gun is safety off. I'll turn sight off. He ain't going nowhere. Look at this beautiful bird. Buddy, let's see what spurs he's got. Oh, yes. He's a good one. He's a good one. He is a good one. He's gonna flop a little bit when I pick him up.
He's
right here.
He's dead.
Oh, yeah.
That bird's dead.
Yes, sir. Look at that. A beautiful
What a head. That turkey's got he's a big turkey.
Tennessee's off my bucket list. My first Tennessee bird. I believe it's my first. Heck, I'm getting so old I can't remember. But I think this is my first Tennessee bird. And what a beauty. Beautiful turkey. What a beautiful hunt. Late morning. Combination. Listen, it's not just turkey calls. It's a guy behind the camera right now running the camera, knowing where these turkeys are hanging, having these places scouted out. We're on public land here in Tennessee. And just by him knowing where these, we've been on turkeys this whole trip. They haven't been gobbling that good. But we've been on turkeys this whole trip because Josh knows where these turkeys are hanging. And I'll tell you what, the Woodhaven modified cutter took over the rest. They can't take it. They can't hold it. And this turkey, we got in here, and Josh said, on this little piece of property, this little small piece of public, right off the lake, and he said, they stay in here, they love it in here. We slipped in from the lake, made a couple soft calls, and he cut me off.
Well, buddy, we ain't got nothing to smoke or we ain't got nothing to drink, but we got something to thank, and that's the good Lord for what we just got hanging beside us.
Does it get any prettier?
Dude, this is Tennessee public land. 3 days left of season. I mean, everybody's, 80% of guys have done quit. They've, a lot of the guys are, especially in this area, they're fishermen. They've, fish are spawning right now. Everybody's like, let's go catch the fish. The turkeys have stopped gobbling. Well, we know one that didn't stop gobbling.
No. And I'll be honest with you, for gobbling activity, it's not been that great because I think they're still hand up, haven't figured out they got to start gobbling more. I think it's going to get better each day. You're almost at the end of your season. We've had a very late spring, a lot of bad weather this spring. Everybody's has had a tough turkey season, and we didn't have a turkey gobble on a roost yet on this hunt.
Yep. Nope.
Two mornings in a row, not a turkey gobble on a roost.
No.
Basically, about an hour after roost time, we finally, both mornings, 2 mornings in a row, we'll hear one in the distance, or we'll strike one. Not very often, and get around. We almost got one killed yesterday. Didn't get him on film. Got one on film earlier this morning. Same thing. He didn't gobble till an hour and a half after daylight.
The bird come in strutting.
Came in strutting.
It just running and never gobbled. Was not vocal at all.
No. Then we got to this little spot. Here it is, almost 11 o'clock in the morning. Again, persistence, never give up, keep hunting. You can hunt all day in Tennessee.
All day.
And we were going to hunt all day till we got on one. I even brought a little deer sausage and some chips, a couple bananas. I mean, we had food so we could stay out here.
We've been through part of the food, and I tell you, I was telling Steve when, before we pulled in here this morning, I said, this little location right here is just about a 6 or 8 acre block of public land that basically is surrounded on, the whole back. We're on a peninsula is what we're on.
Yeah.
We're on a peninsula. We've got public land that shoots off, this direction, 50, 100 feet off the lake bank. But the reason these birds like this area, I think, Steve, and, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but my thoughts on this is two. First, they're covered by 3 sides by water.
Yep.
So they only have to worry about pressure coming in from one direction generally.
Yep.
Two, in the middle of the day like this, look how thick the canopy is here.
Yep.
You've got a lot of shade in here. They don't have to crawl under the cedars like they do in a lot of places. They got a lot of shade. You can see the growth on the ground. When you got a lot of green growth on the ground like this, you've got more forest floor. And these birds just get in here and stay cool in the middle of the day. And I think the key to the day, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is coming in on these birds at a direction that general public normally don't come in on them.
Absolutely. This gobbler here absolutely had to know that this is a good area for hens to nest and frequent. And so it was natural for him to hear a hen, and he came right to us. So.
Well, he didn't get no closer than about 15 yards.
No.
He tried.
Is that a boat?
Out here soft calling.
And he just couldn't stand it. He just couldn't stand it. And if one thing's not working, you got a turkey that's cut you off, and what else helped is, in this terrain, we got away from the lake and got in a little flat where it was a little more open timber, even though the kill you can see is pretty thick where you come through. We're in the timber and brush is completely out, so it's tough to get a lot of good turkey footage in the timber this time of year. It's almost mid-May, but I took his temperature. He didn't like the louder calling, backed off on the calling. He ran us over.
Well,
so, lesson learned.
Yeah, I think it all fell in place.
Yes. Yes.
Like we was talking a while ago before, this is the trees. Matter of fact, I was sitting right here. He was sitting at that tree when we made this shot. The shot was behind the camera. But I told him on the stop before we, actually started working this bird, you got to have breaks go your way. They went our way here,
Yes. I think one of the things, before we sign off here, late morning birds you're going to strike, typically if they gobble and cut you off, like that one did, and I didn't call real loud. And Josh will tell you, hunting with me, my typical, when I start off calling, typically I call soft first, just in case there's one close. Paid off, because this turkey wasn't 150, 200 yards from us when he first gobbled.
Yep.
And in that range. So it was a matter of finding a spot he was going to come to. You don't want to set up in a spot he's not going to come to. So that's very important. Even if you don't have a lot of distance between you and him, eyeball where a good spot he might come to if you're not already setting in a spot, because setup is so important.
Yep, it's key.
But then after that, take his temperature. If he likes the softer calling, back off on the calling later in the morning. Public ground, he liked that softer feed talk, and he loved that modified cutter.
He loved it. Steve,
thank you for having me.
Hey, buddy, you're welcome back next year.
I was invited on this hunt when we did the podcast, and on the show, he invited me to come down turkey hunting. I said, I might just take you up on it, and I did.
Till the next time, hey, everybody, thanks for watching Wing Addiction Podcast video, I guess you would say. Check us out on all our social medias, Wing_Addiction_podcast on Instagram. Of course, we're on Facebook. We're mostly, active on Instagram. Check us out. And like I said, our new YouTube channel will be up. This will be video number 3 coming out. Check us out. Thanks, everybody. And
don't forget to see part 1 of our turkey calling series, and we're going to do part 2 where we're going to cover all the calls.
That's right. Yep. Check out the podcast. And go to Apple. Go to your Apple podcast and hit the 5-star button. Leave us a review. Helps us out. But yes, episode 47 or 48, I can't remember, is part 1 of Steve Stoltz. So we're going to do part 2 today, and